Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the MerlinCast. We're just going to be three amigos tonight. I've got Mr. Bay Sevix over here.
Hello.
And I've got the Tiefling over there. Classic intro. And, of course, Merlin's behind the camera today. Now, I'm sure we've got a couple interesting topics. Hopefully it'll be a shorter podcast, probably, but still pretty interesting and entertaining, I'm sure. Since I'm pointing the camera at you, sir, Mr. Bay Sevix, what's your topic for us tonight?
All right. Who is your favorite Godzilla monster?
I think you messaged me about this the other night.
I did.
My favorite Godzilla monster would actually be Anguirus, because he was the first monster that Godzilla ever fought, and of course, he got his ass kicked royally. And I find it kind of interesting, though, that despite that, they became friends. And I guess maybe it goes back to the fact that I tend to like a lot of underdog characters, because Anguirus is one of those guys that he's always there to make Godzilla look better. But then again, he's, I guess, Godzilla's most loyal friend.
Okay, Krillin.
Hey, he is like Krillin, but he looks cool. I mean, he's got an awesome design. He's like a porcupine lizard monster thing. And yeah, I remember reading a one Godzilla novel where they'd go really in depth with like the people's relations to the monsters. And like, I guess for whatever reason in the expanded Godzilla universe, Anguirus and Gigan were like mortal enemies. So Anguirus, yeah, apparently, and he killed Gigan.
What?
Somehow, and this guy, this like admiral guy, was like so traumatized when his ship got destroyed by Anguirus that he like went after him and like did a versus Cthulhu thing where they tried to like impale the boat into Anguirus and take him down. It's the scariest that monster's ever been. But I've always kind of liked him, just his design, and I don't know, the fact that he's like Godzilla's best friend is kind of cool.
All right, killed Gigan.
But we're gonna go to Tiefling though. Who is your favorite Godzilla monster? What do you say, including Godzilla or besides, just in case?
Besides Godzilla.
Besides Godzilla.
Besides Godzilla?
Because Godzilla is my favorite, obviously.
Jet Jaguar?
Well, does Jet Jaguar count as a monster?
Jet Jaguar counts.
Jet Jaguar!
Okay, sing the song, though.
The mech.
No.
Jet Jaguar.
Jet Jaguar.
Now tell me, why is that, if that's a serious answer?
Because he's literally
Ultraman.
Ultraman. And Ultraman's better than Godzilla.
That's something you don't hear very often. Why would you say
I
that?
can hear the sub.
Because Ultraman's literally just a Kamen Rider nowadays.
He really is.
And Kamen Rider's the best. No, but in all honesty, I'd probably... King Ghidorah?
Okay.
King Ghidorah?
Fucker.
Why is that?
The rivalry between him and Godzilla is always really, really fun to watch play out.
Godzilla's arch nemesis. The space three-headed golden dragon.
Who gets destroyed every movie, though.
He gets destroyed he never wins, but it's always fun
that's
to watch
because
him
people
fight.
always, how they rarely ever had like a one-on-one battle. He's always fighting like 5 other monsters. It's not fair.
He's so strong.
Like in Destroy All Monsters, it's literally him versus 8 other guys. When it took him and Godzilla and Rodan to beat him, like guys.
Monsters is a part of its own time.
Yeah, but in Destroy All Monsters, it's just sad. Like you feel bad for King Ghidorah because like literally they're holding him down and Godzilla's stomping on one of his necks. Like guys, this is beyond unfair right now. But
he's gonna destroy everything, so fuck him up.
Yeah,
true.
That's
Jump
just
this
about
nigga.
it.
Jump him.
in the streets.
It's terrible.
Mine is actually a tie between.
No ties. You got to pick one.
No ties.
Right.
You can't do that.
And you can't have the same answer as me, even though I know I stole your answer.
Shut up.
Well, was King Ghidorah going to be your answer?
Yes.
Okay. Well, alternatively then.
Mecha King Ghidorah.
Oh, come on.
I thought the first introduction of Mechagodzilla was actually really entertaining.
Yeah, I mean,
the idea behind it was cool.
they took his skeleton and made a Godzilla for the fighting forces.
It depends on the timeline, actually.
The timeline.
I think that's the second one, right?
And then
That's
they
the
fought.
second mecha.
And then they fought Space Godzilla.
That's a horrible movie. That's a horrible movie.
The worst.
The first one, I think, is they just created it
Evil Godzilla
basically to...
killed Godzilla. No,
God.
originally, for some reason, like the aliens always have an issue with Godzilla. They designed him to look like Godzilla to trick people into thinking Godzilla was evil. But Godzilla always destroys cities no matter what. So who are they fooling?
Originally, he was there to trick people into thinking Godzilla was evil, and by doing normal Godzilla shit.
Oh, no, Godzilla destroyed Tokyo again. You mean like he always...
You mean like Godzilla just does because he doesn't give a shit about your buildings. He just wants to save your life.
Nah.
Not in the beginning.
Well, because originally he was an allegory for nuclear radiation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's his own character, so he's allowed to have, like, an identity.
Not right
He's more
now.
of a superhero now.
He's an allegory for firebombing and nuclear explosions.
He's also the spirit of Japan, based upon the new Godzilla movie.
Goku's the spirit of Japan.
Goku
Thank you
is the
very
spirit.
much.
Actually, sir, would that not be Astro Boy?
No. Is Astro Boy going to be the mascot of the 2020 Olympics? Goku's going to be the mascot of the 2020 Olympics?
Isn't it going to be in Japan?
Yes. Goku is the mascot of the 2020 Olympics.
Well, who would be more fitting then?
Goku.
That's what I'm saying. No, that works for me.
If I had to pick someone other than King Ghidorah, it would have to be King Kong.
See, I don't count that. I mean, I guess
You
technically...
have to, because they did fight.
Yes.
They did fight, but
All right.
but I
he-
saved that answer till after their new rematch.
But he's not like a Toho original, though.
No, because they legitimately worked with, I think it was, I don't think it was legendary at the time.
Pick a Toho original monster.
That's not Mecha King Ghidorah. You brought this question. You got to work.
You got the
did.
question, and I stole his prepared answer.
You really did.
Which you're allowed.
Quote,
You're
unquote,
look.
stole his answer.
No,
and we had the
dude,
same answer.
you're allowed to pick. If that's your same, you just got to give more of an expanded reason about why you like him.
I
Then.
mean, I fucking love King Ghidorah because he's a golden three-headed space dragon who came from a fucking meteor, I think it was,
Yeah.
and just came here to wreck shit.
He came here to destroy everything.
Literally everything.
You know one thing about him that's always kind of bothered me though
What?
is the fact that he doesn't have any arms.
Yeah, that's a design flaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the actor needed the arms to do the heads.
The puppeteering behind it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But is that satisfactory, or anything else you want to say about Mr. King Ghidorah?
That's satisfactory
Or
for
Ghidra, as some say.
now. Ghidra.
Ghidra.
As the Japanese say, Ghidra. Apparently, King Ghidorah might be in the Godzilla sequel to the 2014 movie.
I hope. Oh, if that's the case, I just hope we see more of the monsters actually fighting this time.
Yeah, King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra is returning.
Wow, that's a lot of monsters.
a lot of monsters.
in the next movie.
Look, it's a lot of monsters for a movie about kick-ass. All right?
And then 2020 is put on your gloves because it's Sunday night fight night.
Is that when the King Kong was coming out?
Yep, that's King Kong versus Godzilla confirmed.
Actually, spinning off this, how do you guys feel about Skull Island? Are you interested in it or not?
I'm
really?
absolutely interested in it.
It looks like it's possibly a sequel to the original.
It's not. It is a complete start over.
It looks like it's a sequel with them already being there, and I would have gotten behind that, but like a do-over is a little weird to me. I don't know.
Interesting.
It didn't like. It would make sense for like this, like they're showing all the skeletons and
Yeah,
stuff like
it
adding
would
to
make
the
sense
lore.
for it to be a sequel, but they decided against that. I guess because they're starting over with a new Godzilla. Ever since it's been like 12 years since he's been in the States.
I guess since they're starting with the new Godzilla, it would make sense to originally reintroduce King Kong, but like
Yeah, King Kong and Godzilla happened like almost in the same span of time.
well, technically in the new Godzilla's universe, hasn't he already fought King Kong since the original happening already happened?
That's a different timeline. These are all different
No,
timelines.
the original happening was Mothra's attacking.
Got it.
And then King Kong and Godzilla awaken at similar times.
All right, I'll go. I'll pay money to go see it.
Damn,
Well,
you
what- are you gonna
Samuel
see it with,
Jackson's in it fighting King Kong?
Probably with Merlin reviews.
Hopefully, if I can find the time.
Oh, okay,
I've
cool.
been missing a lot of those.
The last couple, that's true. But, nothing happened at all. There were no technical errors. Now,
You
what?
mentioned the technical.
The question is, will I keep it in? We'll find
back
out.
to season 2 of Merlin-Cast.
Is it season 2?
No.
I thought we're still technically the first season.
didn't
Still
even-
the first season. No, we got a tablecloth. It's season 2.
We didn't change the intro.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's a tablecloth.
You know how anime
No, I'm
works.
sorry.
You didn't change
It's
the intro.
it's the mid-season premiere.
There you go.
I don't. So you tell me I should take like a monthly break so that there are seasons and not make it a yearly thing for every week?
No, every week. But then next year we gotta change the intro and then like
What do you mean?
highlight the new villains.
So who's the villain for this season so far? Has that been highlighted yet?
It hasn't been a villain. It's still character building.
There'll be a villain eventually.
Well, I don't know. We've had our first couple absences for the night.
We're gonna add storyline eventually. MerlinCast is gonna be its own show.
Hey, you joke, but I mean I'm down for it. But anyway,
It's been Sailor Mercury all along.
Yeah.
Tiefling, what's your topic for the evening?
Okay, so I've missed the past 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Super.
That's okay. You haven't missed much.
And that's because I kind of don't care.
Okay. I understand. I actually almost didn't watch it myself tonight, but I'm sure someone would talk about it.
I wasn't going to.
I wasn't going to either, but then we started talking about it. Like, my original topic was on, like, Kamen Rider and Sentai and shit, but, like, now that we've talked about it for a little bit, like, the only way that they can, I guess, feasibly continue is if, I don't know if people have seen the episode or not, is if someone needs to lose in this fight to actually give the opponents, like, stake, to actually have the tournament have stakes, because otherwise it's just, okay, Goku's going to steamroll the entire tournament, and there's no point in watching anything, just let people give you
the theory is that, other characters could fight and they could lose, and that could be sad,
and then Goku steamrolls a thing.
Right. Like, there's a dude who is, I can't remember his name, Topo? He took, like, Boo's Maximum Fury Kamehameha, but they called it a full charge energy beam.
You mean Basil?
No. Well, was it Basil's?
Wait, we're talking about the wolf guy, right?
I'm talking, no, Topo, the dude in the robes.
Oh, the guy that randomly, yeah, there was this guy in robes.
Thanks for telling me that I didn't miss anything and start talking
Well,
about
it was a minor thing, like, okay, like, they're fighting and a ki blast goes off to the side and the one guy catches it like nothing and he's like, disrespected the gods.
Just literally absorbs it into his hand.
And we're like, who's that guy? And we don't know.
Basically, Gohan should lose his fight. Goku shouldn't struggle, but, like, it should be more than, like, 4 punches.
Well, that's the gray guy.
They also can't sense his ki.
Yeah, they can't sense the wolf guy's
any
ki.
of their keys.
So like, we don't know how powerful they are.
That's cool.
Androids again.
I care so much right now, you guys don't even know. I feel like what they should be doing instead of this is just focusing on characters training, because the tournament's literally going to be a joke.
Are you sure?
Well,
I'm 90% certain.
So far we're not in the tournament, though. We're still in the pre-stuff.
Which is good. It shows that they're actually giving a shit about pacing, finally. Yeah. At least hopefully.
A little. And I guess if anything, this was kind of a Boo episode. I mean,
it was.
Oddly enough,
I guess the reason that I've been skipping is because I don't care about Majin Buu.
Well, neither do I, but he's actually... I used to hate him for a long time, but I find he's better as like a supporting character than as a villain.
I don't really hate him, I just don't care.
Is it because he's too cute?
No, it's just because he's uninteresting and kind of wasted potential.
Well, I don't know, he cares about Mr. Satan, though. And when he got hurt, it gave him his power up. Like
that's real interesting. That's getting into another conversation about why I think the Buu Saga was just complete, like, wasted potential.
We could talk about that. I love talking about how much the Buu Saga sucks.
We don't have time for that.
No,
honestly, this has not been very long.
This is now my topic.
All right,
the Buu Saga was shit.
Tell me your thoughts, and I'll see if I agree.
About, I'd say that everything was okay up until Vegeta's sacrifice.
Okay.
And from there on, things were kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With, like, the introduction of Super Saiyan
3,
wasted energy, and fusion dance, and the Potara earrings, and just a whole bunch of other, just throwing shit at the wall to see what would stick.
Yeah.
I feel like if they had, instead of it, like, half of Buu is good and the other part is evil, and then the evil part ate the good part and powered up and then went into the hyperbolic time chamber.
Even for Dragon Ball, it gets kind of ridiculous.
And then fusion, and then he yelled through dimensions and then ate everybody, and then Gohan showed up and was winning, and then fans were like, where the fuck's Goku? So then they brought Goku back and had Gohan lose, and I'm just like, just stick with it. It was dumb. It was, and like the Kid Buu fight was just ended with another bigger spirit bomb, and I feel like fights that end like that are just kind of anticlimactic because it's the get out of situation free button, along with that and the Dragon Balls.
Well, to be fair though, that's the only time it ever worked.
True. That's
kind of why. It's a little debatable. Like, hey, it actually came through for once.
I guess that was the one spirit bomb that actually made sense, because Boo's supposed to be like an entity from like the beginning of time.
Boo almost destroyed the 4th dimension. That was a thing that happened.
Yeah, that's stupid as shit.
It was stupid as shit, but it happened.
Like, against Frieza, they pulled out the Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
And then it was a character development kind of thing. Against Cell, they had more character development with Goku finally, like, I don't know, letting him, like doing something for other people rather than just, I want to beat up the bad guy. Be like, okay, I'm not strong enough to do this, but I know my son is and he can step up. Kind of thing, like a passing the torch kind of moment. And then they took like 40 steps back with Boo.
Yeah, and it's gotten worse since then.
Yeah, it's an underlying problem that I've had with Dragon Ball Z since then, but it's nowhere near as bad as how I feel about GT.
Well, GT's not canon, right?
Let me get your thoughts on the Boo saga.
Well, you know that I don't like the Boo saga very much.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, for a lot of the same issues that you mentioned, I mean, for a long time, I just thought that Boo was a less interesting villain by comparison.
I mean, if they'd just gone more into the primal being of chaos and destruction without the
Grand Supreme Kai.
Yeah, the Grand Supreme Kai and the subplot with and everything.
All right, I think Boo had an interesting backstory. I think his backstory is the most interesting of all the villains.
True.
Personally, it's really cool. But I think he was a bit underused in terms of his personality. And I think that he was just kind of there to just create some action. The best thing about the whole arc really was Vegeta's arc completed.
Yeah, Vegeta's sacrifice. That was like, oh crap, that was amazing.
Which, quite frankly, would have been a great way to end the show, but then you could argue it's not really Vegeta's show at that point, so it wouldn't have been the best.
I get bringing him back. I feel like they should have ended it with Gohan finally, like, giving him the I'm now the protector moment that they were showing to give him before he absorbed Gotenks and Piccolo.
And that was definitely the way it was going, and you're right. If they had actually followed through with that, then the fusion wouldn't have mattered as much, and then all the stalling, and then Goku coming back, it would have been good, and it would have finally been that passing of the torch. Now, admittedly, they did kind of have a stomp down, which was the actual fight.
Yeah.
But if they had made it a little bit more tense and stretched it out, it would have been, I think, a better executed overall. But yeah, that was kind of my biggest issue with it. I actually don't mind the Boo saga up until Vegeta's sacrifice. After that,
yeah, that's up. Like the Gohan stuff, the Videl stuff, showing Vegeta after Goku's disappearance, death for a long time.
Even the tournament and even the Babidi stuff and building up to Boo and some of the subordinates. I thought that was cool. You know,
yeah, that was interesting.
You know, it was cool.
Spopovich and
the weird dude that ate energy.
The guy that almost killed fucking Videl.
Yakan and
Spopovich.
Yeah. Spopovich and
when you fight Fui Fui, death is a certainty.
Yeah.
If you're Fui Fui.
Deborah was a really, really like cool character that had a whole bunch of
very underused.
Like if they had spent more time on just, I guess like they rushed the introduction of Boo. I feel like even
they did, and I think that, like I said, they could have made him more serious. And I think that jarring shift in tone from okay, it's been very serious up until this point for the most part, and then we make it really jokey again at the end. It just seemed kind of odd.
Yeah. I mean, like, I liked the last fight with Kid Buu and Vegeta's realization that there's something about him that will always keep him behind Goku.
But is that still relevant now with Super?
It's not, because they've backtracked on a whole lot of, like personality for all the characters.
Because for Vegeta. Vegeta's gone forward.
Vegeta's the only character that's gone forward.
Well, to be fair, they haven't really given the other characters much time to show what they're doing. I mean, there's only one's Gohan recently, and we know Goku's just been going backwards, and everybody else, they're starting to. Little Krillin stuff, but Piccolo...
I mean, I get the Goku backtracking because he's bored now, and he's never really been doing stuff for other people.
Oh, he's working now, apparently.
Yeah, he's being
a vegetable farmer.
He's, doing the family thing and getting a little bored, but enjoying it, quote unquote.
Apparently. Yeah. Like, it's okay to sell vegetables.
Like, it makes Chi-Chi happy, and if that's what's going on, then I guess I'm cool with it.
Yeah, that's some good character growth there for sure. But yeah, you're right. I think the Boo saga was
Is it really, though? Because he just does it to make sure she doesn't nag on him and so that he can train. Is it really character growth?
The stuff with him and Goten was actually really good character growth.
That was nice, because it shows that Goten is a proper version of Goku.
But, sir... Remember, that was like one scene, though.
It was.
It was like one little exchange, which was nice, but we need more of those moments with Goku.
Basically, reel back on the gas pedal from after this explanation of the tournament and then like with them getting everything together, it should backpedal.
Once they start training, because I think they're going to go to Beerus's world for the training. He's going to tell them the rules, and everyone's going to fucking hate Goku.
Here's a question. All right, let's be honest here, because I know this has been brought up before by people, but really, now that we have Super, and we're seeing maybe some development, maybe just some backtracking, but really, how much character development has Goku really had from the entire story up to this point? Because when I really think about it, I feel like it isn't that much anymore.
Losing Grandpa Gohan.
All right.
Losing Ader. And up till...
Piccolo, the fight with King Piccolo.
The fight with King Piccolo is when he started letting his villains get away.
Yeah. The fight with Demon Jr., quote unquote, was when he truly was like, I sensed something about him that wasn't truly evil.
Before that point, though, Goku liked fighting, but as a kid, he still liked extinguishing bad guys.
He killed the shit out of people.
You hurt people. He killed a lot of people as a kid.
Yeah.
And he, in a way, he was kind of a harsher form of justice. But as he got older, I guess maybe it's that Saiyan blood finally pumping through his veins again and kind of forcing things in one direction, but he cares more about the competition.
Maybe it's the head injury wearing off.
I heard that.
That's dumb.
Is it, though?
Head injuries don't fucking wear off.
Is it, though?
Yeah.
Is it, though?
I'm done with you.
No, that would be kind of lazy writing that now he's... Though it's just weird because I guess it is development in the sense that maybe he's getting bored, maybe he's getting jaded. And it's kind of a little bit like
I feel like he does... Maybe Goku himself is becoming arrogant more like Vegeta. Where he even if a bad thing happens, I'll come up with a way to get around it. It doesn't really matter.
Arrogant, or kind of like what maybe Wheeler suggested. It's kind of like the Saitama thing, where it's like he's gotten to the point where he's so powerful, he just doesn't have the challenge. He needs to seek that because really at this point he is practically. Level.
Technically, Zeno's the one that's blowing up universes. Goku wants to fight stronger people, and because of him trusting that kind of person was the mistake.
Yeah, that was the mistake. Does Goku really want to see people die? No. But to be fair, we live in a universe, in this particular instance, where you have Dragon Balls.
I don't feel like people should hate Goku because of it, but I feel like he should be held accountable for his actions.
He should be.
I think he will be. He should be.
He shouldn't. No, I don't feel like they should hate him.
No, he should be held accountable.
Held accountable, yes. Hated, no.
No. But what do you think?
I guess the fans as a fan, you're allowed to do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, I want to hear more from you about this base. What are your thoughts about the Buu Saga and how it's affecting things in Goku's development? Like, how do you feel about that?
The Buu Saga was definitely kind of like a backtrack from his development in Cell.
I think so.
I experienced the Buu Saga at a very young age, and everything going forward from that was like the Buu Saga through the video games and alternate realities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Basically, the Tenkaichi series playing through the story mode, but slightly altered.
And I remember it being like, oh man, this is still Dragon Ball. Vegeta is the coolest fucking thing. And he really was. He was basically the ultimate life form.
So you're cool with fusion?
Yeah, I'm cool with fusion.
I'm not against fusion. I just feel it was pulled out of Akira Toriyama's ass to try to sell more shit.
I just like the whole, you're right, action.
I guess I didn't... if I read more of Akira Toriyama's interviews, I'd understand why a whole lot of these things happened, but I don't. So from just a standpoint of a guy that really, really likes the
I guess
show...
it was more he wanted to have a fusion for them since Piccolo had two.
Well, look, to be honest, the basic example, if you look through some of the interviews, the answer is usually going to be editorial pushing. My editor pushed me to do this, my editor pushed me to do that. Because he basically was like, hey, pump things out, and so he made things up at the fly of his pants, basically.
Yeah.
The only reason what we got was really good. I think you should take this conversation as we're critiquing a show that we find ridiculously good, not that we hate this part.
Well,
it's still good.
If you love something, you will rip it to shreds.
So you have to sometimes. I mean, you can't pretend like there aren't any flaws. In fact, I have yet to make a video for my channel where I do talk about in depth the flaws of Dragon Ball, which I've always kind of thought about doing, but I've never gotten around to it. And I feel like if I really wanted to look at it, there's plenty of things to complain about.
There really are.
I could see why Vegeta would be your favorite character if your introduction to it was the Buu saga, because he had the best character growth.
No, my introduction was the beginning of the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, and I was with like Vegeta through the whole "I'm evil as shit" part. I'm gonna kill.
Oh well, then I retract my comment. You're stupid.
No, fuck up. Look, I connected with Vegeta when he died on Namek. That's when he became my favorite character.
The tears?
The tears.
He was really stupid, and I feel like he should have stayed dead.
I don't.
That would change the series a lot, and I don't
blame
care
you.
that he
I think
didn't.
he should have stayed dead when he sacrificed himself.
So you think Vegeta should have died on Namek?
I feel like Vegeta should have died with Buu and then stayed dead, and his soul would have gotten like redeemed, quote unquote, and then like.
That would have been a better way to end it, I think.
It would have been.
Like that is one of the little
Vegeta's dead, his soul is redeemed. Goku stays dead. It's better for the universe that like no space pirate comes out to seek him.
To be fair, if Goku
Bojack?
that's a good point. If Goku and Vegeta could stay dead permanently for a while, probably do a lot of good for the series.
And then Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin, they're like, oh fuck.
We gotta actually
The
work.
gods are dead now. What the fuck do we
And
do?
think about it. I've always thought that would be a good arc where you have the two big guys out of the fight for a while, so you could actually make them more interesting again.
Because right now they're just doing the same shit. I feel like this quote unquote evil Goku thing was just. You got annoyed with just having Goku do the same shit over and over and over again. And Goku himself got bored of doing the same stuff over and over again. So he's like, fuck it, I need a tournament to fight people. Why? Because otherwise, I'm just like sitting on my ass, like farming vegetables and trying to train. The only person I can train with is a god that doesn't give a shit about me or my planet. I gotta find new food for him to like do anything. The only way that I'm gonna get any significant training is by making a tournament. And the god of everything said he'll do a tournament. Okay, I'll go. Let's do this tournament thing. Hey, the tournament, the losers, the universe gets destroyed. What? The losers, universe gets destroyed. No, you didn't. Yeah, that's what happened. But no. I don't. But what? Goku, why the fuck did you make this tournament? I didn't know that was gonna happen. Think about your actions more. How the fuck was I gonna? I thought he was a cool guy.
All right. Dude, like, I gotta point out something though. I gotta point out something. This was the guy that's like, maybe we should skip Dragon Ball tonight, and hey, going on this tangent.
I'm sorry, you got me started.
I don't think it's our Zeno that actually made that rule. I think it was the second one.
Think so?
Yeah, I think
it might even be
because he has no remorse like the first one.
He didn't meet Goku at that pivotal point.
No, he was like when he met Goku, he was like, "Who the fuck are you? Why did you call? Are you the one doing this? I'll fucking kill you."
Yeah,
you're annoying.
But
Future Zeno's kind of a dick.
I'll tell you what. We can wrap it up there, though. There's definitely some interesting questions in the comments if you want to leave any about some of this stuff.
Hold on. We did get a request from Dickie.
Actually, no, you're right, Dickie. Well, all right, switch the camera off. Base, you can hold it this time. Give us some rest. All right. I did have a very interesting question. I read it in the chat, but I also forgot it. It was about something about movie interpretation. No. Is geek culture more accessible, or is it less accessible? Phrase it for me again, Base.
I remember tattoos.
Okay, so Dickie is not actually here with us, but he did contribute a question. So thank you, Dickie. I believe as well.
I think
it was something about geek culture, and it was a very interesting question.
What do you guys think of the state of nerd culture? Do you think the things that make it such prominent but niche subculture are preventing anyone but the most hardcore fans from liking it, or do you think that subculture is more accessible ever because of the internet, amongst other factors?
All right. We'll be back tomorrow with a separate video.
No.
Basically, that's not an easy question.
It's not an easy question, but I'll start it off though because I do have something I think to say about it because I have thought about this for a while. I'll say as a little bit of insight about me. Obviously, you guys know that I've kind of made this channel, and I like talking to you guys about all these geeky things I love, and it's a big part of my life. But I think it's interesting that growing up, I kind of was still, when I was a kid, it was still common that when I could be made fun of for liking X-Men, like in middle school. I remember that actually came up once briefly. So I can remember that time, not too long ago. But I kind of, as I grew, this stuff became more and more popular, and now, like especially superhero stuff, it's like the most popular stuff out there in Hollywood. And now, I don't know if it's because of that. Like it's made for the fans mostly, but it's made in a way that's approachable that other people are getting into it, and now it's the norm. So it kind of is. And this is the thing that where I'm getting with this is that's the way it has become, not just with with movies and superhero stuff, but fantasy and gaming and even anime to some extent. And it's like sometimes there's a part of me that almost resents it. Like I kind of liked it when it was a bit more niche because it was like a more exclusive club almost. Like you met somebody that liked that thing.
It was
like
a more
oh.
exclusive club, and I feel almost like I felt the quality was better because they weren't doing it to market to the entire populace.
Yeah.
Rather, people that they knew enjoyed the work that they were doing.
Which a lot of companies still are trying to do that as their primary base. Like, for instance, I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for the most part, they're still focusing, I think, on the Marvel readers. Like, it isn't diverting too much.
You can look at the difference between the Marvel Cinematic Universe and current Marvel comics.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of stuff that's alienating a lot of their base fans in order to try to draw in more people.
That's true.
Whereas with DC, they pulled that shit with the New 52 and like, oh, we lost.
We lost.
How about Rebirth? how about the stuff that you guys liked before? I'm like, okay, we'll read that.
You know, but you're right. You're going to risk, by trying to mark, you might lose that core fan base that you know is reliable. That's got to keep coming back to your
And
stuff.
I feel like it's not always a bad thing to try to make things more accessible, but I think there should be a limit.
All right, well, here's one that comes up a lot, actually, and I know you guys can relate a little bit to this, but you guys know I'm a big Star Trek fan, and the new Star Trek movies, the Abrams movies, I've always kind of had mixed feelings about
The
them.
first two weren't Star Trek movies.
I like them. I think they're fun. I think they're pretty good movies, but are they really Star Trek, though?
I feel like I have the same problem, well, almost the same problem with the Nolan Batman movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as
Movies.
yeah, they're good movies. They have good villains. The plot makes sense. The action is well shot. But as a Batman fan, I fucking hate them.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know how much shit I got in high school when I said the Nolan Batman movies were shit?
Well, everyone loves The Dark Knight. Like, so many people
The
say
Dark
it's their favorite
Knight.
movie.
is shit.
Oh, wait. Expand.
Hold on.
Expand. Yeah.
Please.
Yes.
Please.
No, you okay. I want this. I'm going to lose some subs over this one. I know it.
I don't care. Fuck those people.
To be fair, I don't really care.
Physics class 2014.
Tell me.
Kids are the popular kids are talking about the Nolan Batman movies, and I'm like this is right after Bane came out,
Oh, no.
and I was like,
You can go back and look at our reactions to Bane.
I'll link it in.
I wasn't there.
Link it in the description.
I wasn't there for that.
No, I
Link in the description.
My review of Dark Knight Rises is on this channel a few years ago. Oh, God.
We fucking hate that movie.
All right, they go about, yeah, man. That's not Bane. What? The Nolan movies are shit. Ha! Say it to the world for Snapchat. The Nolan movies are shit. Bane is a luchador. Get the fuck out of my face. I hate you. Got into a fight. Kid lost. Had his head against the fucking table.
Damn.
I fought someone over this.
Did he actually try to fight you?
Yes.
Over
Because
Batman?
I got annoyed. And
Temper.
No. It wasn't temper. It's you're ignorant on this. Let me teach you a little something. Don't be open-minded. But this isn't what Bane is. They whitewashed the fuck out of Bane. And Tom Hardy is a short motherfucker.
Tom Hardy would be perfect if they were ever going to recast Wolverine.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than that,
They really messed up Bane so much,
They
but he's the
really
most
messed
accepted
up.
version now. And they,
which is
That's
Sad.
it's more sad than anything, really.
like
But
Bane is my least favorite part of the Scarecrow. I actually really like
their
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow is divisive for me because on one hand it was a good performance, but on the other hand,
it's not really like the character.
it's not the character. You know, like just a full fucking episode of like Chi-Chi and Goku.
Chi-Chi, Tudor, and Go 10.
Just Chi-Chi and Goku just having a day, showing like him being sweet. Because he has to have been sweet at some point, otherwise she would have left his ass.
Like off camera, we came up with some awesome ideas just how to do Dragon Ball better, you know, and just like have them do semi-normal things.
Just have him do shit.
Like, so-
Like fuck this tournament noise. An episode of Piccolo babysitting Pan.
Yeah.
An episode, Pan gets lost. He can't talk to. He's too embarrassed to talk to Gohan or Videl. The only person he can turn to is Hercule. So it's an episode of Piccolo and Hercule bonding.
Something like that.
Gohan training. This is the thing that I think I came up with the first. You can't use ki. You can't use an airplane. You can't use a boat.
Get to this island.
Don't get fully submerged in water. Get to this island and bring me back a thing. I can't use ki. Well, you can't use regular ki. What other ki could I use? I don't fucking know. Do it. Get across the water. Don't get wet.
There's got to be another type of key in the universe.
Like, that's like a weird niche thing. Or like, give us like an episode of Future Trunks for Building the Future.
There you go.
Like, what the fuck's been going on in the universe with two Trunkses?
Two Trunkses.
But like, what's going on there? How many people? Well, like, have them like stopping a minor threat and like rebuilding the world to government. Have an episode of Chi-Chi, Goku, and Piccolo trying to go and build Piccolo a house near them so that he could be like have Piccolo
Where the
learn
fuck does
how to
Piccolo live?
He lives in the wilderness.
fucking teach Piccolo how to do taxes. Like, I'd watch the shit out of that. You don't even know. Like an episode of Piccolo, like what's a W2?
What's an I-5?
Like, I'm pretty sure the forms are different in Japan, but like
So the equivalent.
the equivalents. Like show an episode of Goten and Trunks. Seriously, like, okay, we're gonna do some secret training to try to surprise our dads with how strong we've gotten. Do a 5-episode arc of Goku and Goten just going around doing stuff.
I'm telling you though, man, your favorite though, my favorite you came up with, the straight Krillin noir murder mystery.
Noir murder mystery. Like introduces like his partner because Krillin's been bumped up from like beat cop to detective. Like he got promoted, and his partner is a really tall, lanky like dog, and they're like the dog's from off world, so he's getting used to Earth culture, and he's like, we should just kill him, and Krillin's like, that's not how we do it around here, man. Earth style justice. We need to take him to prison. I'm like, what? What is prison? We execute. Like, don't worry about it, man. I got you. Oh, you puny Earth weaklings. And then Krillin like whips out his fucking whatcha, and then like kicks the shit out of the entire mob by himself. And he's like, you're all going downtown. And he's like, oh man, I need to learn to take other species seriously. And it's just like a thing, like a 5-episode arc on racism
or more. And more, and like, what was it, the Gaseo Man and Jocko have to space patrol?
Great Saiyaman, Great Saiyawoman, and Jocko are on patrol for the Galactic Police.
I mean, like, that,
Like,
it's like you said.
they run into criminals, hijinks ensue.
So basically, anything but tournaments.
Goku and Vegeta must band together to stop this portal to from Universe 9 that their greatest villain ripped open in the universe.
So what you're saying is...
Nah, Goku and Vegeta's trying to stop the Makaioshi because nothing has been done with the Makaioshi.
So basically, you're suggesting that...
Fuck tournaments, man.
You're saying, it sounds to me like maybe depowering people, or having Goku and Vegeta not around, or having plots other than fighting in a tournament might be more interesting.
Give us a break from Goku and Vegeta for a little bit, because like that's what they did at the beginning of Boo. Mm-hmm. In all honesty. Give us a break from them. Have them be off doing their thing. I get it. Goku's the main character. Everyone loves Goku. Not even anymore, though. What the fuck am I talking about? But interesting character growth and character, maybe even mini vignettes, would be more interesting than what's going on right now, because if there's people that are stronger than Goku and Vegeta, then Universe 7 explodes and there's no more show.
Which is a possibility because, the Dragon Balls will be destroyed too.
The winners get a wish from the Super Dragon Balls. That wish is going to be to bring all the universes back. That's the only way to reset the universe. Like,
so predictable. Like, we know how it's going to be.
Goku or Vegeta will win. Goku will win because if Vegeta's going to stick to Vegeta's character, Vegeta's weaker than Goku because of his own personal limitations.
Well, sticking with the whole Dark Knight topic, though, I think that's a perfect example because, as we were saying, like, the Dark Knight is pretty much accepted as, like, the defining staple of superhero movies, and pretty much everybody loves it.
And it's shit.
But it's not really that true to Batman. But I also brought up the question, it's a version, so it's, in comics, you have alternate versions of things in their interpretation.
Here's my problem with that, is that to the general average Joe populace, there's no such thing as alternate versions.
That's true.
There's just the definitive version and then copying or not even reimagining it, just like a different thing because if they did that, they'd be plagiarizing the other person's performance. And it's like, it's not even that. It's like people love to compare Heath Ledger's Joker to Jared Leto's Joker, and like one's so much better than the other. They're different fucking characters altogether.
I mean, Jared Leto's Joker is still a vast amount of just a giant pile of shit.
Wow.
We're not even going to get started on that. But people don't. I guess like niche comic book fans understand like different versions, and people will defend different versions to like kind of try to defend the movies. But I don't think they really understand what that truly means.
Because they weren't really part of the comic book stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, theoretically, this is supposed to be a way to introduce them to, reading the comics and getting deeper into
don't
it.
do that.
Some people do, I'm sure.
I know a lot of people have, and I'm happy for that. But I'm going by my personal experiences. I know someone who says that they love Batman, and The Dark Knight is their favorite movie. No, okay, no. That's not. No,
Well,
fucking wrong.
Michael Keaton still exists.
Well, hey, that's the brings it to a similar question about fandom then. And I brought this up before, but okay, that you're saying that if somebody says they love Batman because they love The Dark Knight, that's wrong?
Personally, yes, because that's not Batman.
Base thoughts?
If I were to
That's Scary
replace
Joe. That's Darkness Jim.
No,
Right,
it's
that's Bad Guy Frank.
it's Crazy Steve.
Yeah, Crazy
Steve.
It's Crazy Steve.
From All Star Batman and Robin,
Yeah,
the
it's Crazy-
mental patient who
It's
stole
the
the Batman costume.
It's the mental patient Crazy Steve. Crazy Steve got lung cancer and somehow assumed Bruce Wayne's life.
Go watch Atop the Fourth Wall. It's fucking hilarious.
Hashtag plug.
But what are your thoughts? Because that goes back to the idea of the true fan. Like if you know more about a thing and you're deeply invested in it. But I mean, these people still appreciate the character, even if it is primarily The Dark Knight. Does that invalidate
I
it?
guess I'm kind of a snob when it comes to.
I mean, I can relate. I have felt the same way, honestly. I'll admit it. But you have to look at it and say, is that 100% fair, though? They still because some things about Batman are portrayed through The Dark Knight. It's true, but is it the best? Is it the most in-depth or
not-
accurate?
I'll
Maybe
give you
not.
something.
All right.
It's kind of like how I like the color spectrum and Troll doesn't in the Green Lantern comics.
Okay.
Everything he really doesn't like how like I will admit Will is not a fucking emotion.
Will's not an emotion.
Will's not an emotion.
And also,
but,
greed is more.
well, it's actually called avarice, but people
It's not really an emotion either.
Yeah,
Shut up.
Neither
It's,
of those
it's an
are-
abstract concept. But
it is an
They're
abstract.
fucking abstract concepts.
Look, when
being
you- when you-
represented by a ring is fucking weird.
When your motto is what's mine is mine, what's yours is mine, and everything will be mine is your fucking power rings thing.
It's confusing.
Then everything's just fine.
Look, on the color spectrum, and it is kind of a tangent, but like, will, fear, rage,
Fear is an emotion.
I can get behind that. The rest of it, it's just straight-
death.
Death isn't an emotion. It's a state of being.
Not in brightest day and blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
You totally said that.
But okay, congrats.
Congratulations. You memorized it.
But
I guess on your topic of, I guess, to dumb it down, quote unquote, what is a true fan
yeah,
of something?
that
Someone who's
question.
willing to accept what has happened, but be able to realize this isn't what this is supposed to be like.
I don't even think they need to truly accept it. They need to
Realize it's there.
realize it's there and live with that fact. You don't have to like it.
Well, okay.
Like how,
All right.
I like some aspects of GT. You just fucking hate it.
But God, GT's abomination.
But-
It happened. It's never going to go away.
Well,
Enough of
okay.
it.
We'll actually bring it back to Dragon Ball for fandom again. Obviously, a lot of people have been exposed to say maybe the original Funimation dub, which, as we know, is extremely inaccurate to the manga,
God,
which is why there is Kai and everything else. But for some people, that is all they grew up with. They stuck with that. That's their primary knowledge of Z. Some of the
But
aspects
they're
of Dragon Ball is still there.
fans, which like they like the characters because they didn't change the characterization.
Too much.
Yeah, the characters are still the characters, whereas the difference between Batman and Spindly Jimmy are so. He's not a detective.
Yeah.
He's just a dude with a lot of money that beats up people in an alleyway. It's not Batman.
Honestly, if they would have replaced Bruce Wayne with Thomas Wayne in the fucking Dark Knight in Batman vs Superman, I would have enjoyed that a lot more.
That actually kind of would have made it make a little bit more sense why he would have stopped at the mention of Martha as well.
Martha.
Because, it would have been his wife.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, people don't typically think about their mother's names.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
It's still a terrible fucking
Mom?
abomination on the comic book scene.
I have a mother.
Oh my god, my mom existed.
You have a mother? I have a mother. Mother!
It's still a terrible thing that I waited 4 years to see and walked in and out of like an abusive
Well,
relationship.
it's kind of funny because on one level I do like what they were going for. Like, okay, he has a mother, he's a person, I can relate to him. A fundamental idea, I'm okay with that, but the execution was
terrible.
Makes Batman seem so dumb. World's greatest detective didn't know his mother's name was
more
Martha.
Batman
Than anything.
Nolan's Batman.
Because at least he investigated stuff.
He investigated stuff. He was stopping crime. He was,
I walked out of that movie 3 times, not even like 3 minutes into the movie when they got to that bats lifting him up scene. I walked out.
All right, but here you go. Here you go, though. Okay, we accept that Batman version as being more valid, say, than maybe The Dark Knight. But you could argue on the other side, The Dark Knight, famously, the Nolan movies, doesn't kill anybody, which is true to Batman. But Batfleck murders people left and right, which isn't technically true to most versions of the character.
We're getting back to the talk of versions of characters, which people don't. Which is why people panned that guy so much, because Nolan's Batman didn't kill anybody, so Batman doesn't kill people.
Because that's the standard now for most people.
Batman doesn't kill unless it's absolutely necessary.
And then you see the original movie the original movie and its sequel, where when fighting some goons, that dude spat fire at him, he fucking turned his car around and lit that motherfucker on fire.
But for a lot of people, that was the initial version, like myself, and got them interested in the character.
Which is why people don't have a problem with Batman murdering.
And that's the thing, though. That's the thing. I love the Burton version of Batman, even though it's not 100% true to the character, but I can accept that version. I think some things about it are great. Like, for instance, one of the key components of Batman is he's a handsome billionaire playboy. I like him with Michael Keaton, but he was just a weird dude throughout the whole movie, but it worked for that version. But is that the standard version? I think that the one that was obviously Bruce Timm's with Kevin Conroy, that was actually written by people that wrote the comics for years, is probably the closest out-of-comic interpretation generally accepted. But even within comics, you could still have different versions.
Yeah.
That's why people get pissed all the time.
Let's see. Take the representation of Bruce Wayne from Nolan's films versus the representation of Bruce Wayne in the original Batman movie.
Okay.
You both have the billionaire playboy kind of thing going on with you. Yeah. All right?
Okay.
Give or take a little bit. The first one, it felt more of like Bruce Wayne was a mask that Batman was wearing.
Yeah.
Whereas in Nolan's films, Batman was
Bruce Wayne
at the core, and I guess that's where the difference in the comic books kind of starts to show, because Batman's never really been Bruce Wayne.
He's been consumed.
Batman is kind of a person that's been consumed by his life of fighting crime, which my favorite superhero being Nightwing, his entire story for a while was, I don't want to be like Batman. I don't want to be like that. The difference between me, Dick Grayson, and you, Bruce Wayne, is that Batman has consumed you. You, in his own head, he calls himself Batman. That's a line from several comic books and several cartoon shows. Whereas, like the way that they know the difference between Batman and an imposter pretending to be Batman is that Batman calls himself Batman. He never calls himself Bruce.
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. And then, like, the Nolan films, it was always trying to make Bruce Wayne's life better by being Batman. Whereas Batman was has always been more of a all-consuming true identity.
Kind of obsessive. He's a little unhinged. He's insane.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Batman's kind of crazy. But not in a way that hurts the common good, I guess.
It's focused.
Yeah.
I just remembered something really hilarious.
What's that?
There was one point where Wally West was fighting crime with his kids. I can't remember what their names were, or what their superhero names were. They were his 2 kids. They both had powers, and the Justice League was very much not behind this. So he walked up to Batman and said, "I'm not gonna take child care advice from someone who's been through 4 Robins."
Wow.
Wally West is a fucking savage.
Let's describe 2 scenes for you. At the end of whatever the fuck that last travesty was, Batman Returns. What? The Bane movie.
Oh, Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, Dark Knight Rises. The final scene, Talia stabs him.
Yes.
With a knife.
Little knife.
In the comic books, Talia fucking comes at him, fucking full on assassin training going, catches a full size sword with his arm things, snaps it in half, throws her to the ground. The fuck are you doing?
Batman.
Oh, she has a knife. What the fuck am I gonna do? It's not like a Batman.
Also, let's not confuse being highly skilled and trained with, oh, if you give him prep time, he can defeat fucking anything. Because let's be honest.
That's a joke that we have here on Merlin.
No. There are Batman fanboys who believe that it is the fucking Bible.
It's a joke. Is that yes, Batman can beat anybody because he's Batman, but obviously there are going to be some
There's
people.
limitations.
You know who can't beat?
Who?
Kevin from Home Alone.
No, Batman can beat Kevin.
No. Batman cannot beat Kevin from Home Alone.
No prep time.
Straying away from the joke, Batman would have been, I guess, if correctly characterized in my eyes, would have been the person to have seeing that shit coming. Mm-hmm. Because in the comic books, he's not
like 50 steps ahead.
He's not in love with Talia.
No.
People seem to have this misconception that now that he has a son by her, that they were in love.
No,
she
Batman
raped him.
was raped.
He was
Batman
raped.
was raped. That was not a consensual thing.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm aware.
And then she cloned his son and put the defective clones on an island. They all look like sloth. And they saved Damian on the island while the island was sinking.
Let's not talk about Damian Wayne. Let's get back to critiquing or
Fandom. Batman perception.
Fandom through the lens of the Nolan films versus the rest of the comic books. That Batman was active as Batman for about 6 months, and then someone he wasn't dating died and he stopped.
And I think that kind of says it all. You know, Batman would never give up being Batman.
Batman doesn't stop being Batman for anything.
I agree.
The only way that there ever stopped being a Batman is when everyone thought Batman was dead, and then they're like, "Okay, Dick, you got to be Batman." And he's like, "Yeah, I got to be Batman. There can't not be a Batman. I can't." No, Dick Grayson was like, "I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna have to do this because there can't not be a Batman."
Then Jason Todd was like, "Let me be Batman." No,
because you'll represent him wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I know this has been heated, and there's enough for sure, but we're in the red, so I'm going to have to say goodbye. But this is a great discussion. Say goodbye, Base.
Don't fuck with fandoms.
Love what you love and don't care what anyone else says.
At the end of the day, you're right. But yeah, that was the topic for today, guys. Please talk about it in the comments. Let us know what you thought, and we'll talk to you again next time. Stay magical.